Time for a review of one of my favourite watches. It's a Seiko Kinetic watch. I have no idea what model or name this one is because Seiko do a lot of these in different variants. It's not one of the diving ones, it's basically a rechargeable quartz watch that charges with a rotor inside. So it's like how a mechanical automatic watch works, just with a rechargeable quartz battery, which means it's really good. Basically, as it's quartz, it will keep time very, very well. And my complaint with this, if I've got any, is the screen gets dirty quite easily. It's mineral glass, but for some reason, compared to a lot of my other watches, I have to seem to keep, spraying this and wiping the screen down because it will get, fogged up quite easily. No idea why that is compared to other watches. And it doesn't have any lume on it, so in the dark you won't be able to see anything on this watch. So you've got day date. It will say the day there and the date. You obviously need to change that if it's not a 31-day month to keep it running properly. And it's water resistance to 100 meters, which is 10 bar. So with the kinetic movement, if I move it, you might be able to hear this. So hopefully you're hearing that. And what that is inside there's a rotor, and that rotor spins around and charges the battery. Now you can tell how much charge is in this, which is really good. When I press this button, the second hand will sweep around, and where it stopped indicates a charge. So if it does a full 30-second movement, that indicates that you have, I think on this model it's about a month to 2 months charge. It will vary on the model. When it moves to 20 seconds worth, that will indicate you've got a couple of weeks to a month, and if it does less than that, it will indicate from days to weeks. But the kinetic sort of charge is so good on this that if it's stopped and you sort of wear it for about 2 minutes, set the time, wear it for about 2 minutes, it will have about a week's plus charge on it. When you've worn it for a full day, it will have sort of your month plus on there, and if you wore it every day, you'd get your 2 months full charge on it. As I said, some Seiko Kinetic models only do a couple of weeks full charge, and others do over a couple of months. That's pretty good compared to a normal automatic mechanical watch, where the high-end one have about 31 to sort of 60 hours on the power reserve. So, that outdoes any mechanical watch on the market, even the ones that are several £1,000s. So I'll put it on, you can see what it looks like being worn. Well, that's what the watch looks like on. As I said, you can press the second hand and it will show you on the power reserve. It's designed so you do it at the 60-second mark, so it will go to there. That means fully charged. Anything less means it's less. And the watch will count the seconds without the second hand moving, so you won't lose any time by doing the time check. I think the day date is also in French as well, but obviously I have it set to English. And I said there's no glow in the dark stuff on this, which is my only factor I don't really like on this. Seiko do lots of really good watches. They were the inventor of the quartz wristwatch, if you didn't know that, and they help destroy or basically this will upset a lot of people, but there was a thing called the Quartz Crisis where Seiko basically and other Japanese manufacturers destroyed a lot of the Swiss watch market because they basically forced the Swiss to innovate, and the Swiss non-luxury brands that didn't have the prestige to keep going on being mechanical alone were wiped out because they were too stubborn. But what it meant for a normal person is that it massively brought down the price of wristwatches, and you could have a very good wristwatch that's very cheap. Quartz being accurate to a few seconds per month, but Seiko also do automatic mechanical watches as well as normal sort of quartz watches without the fancier things. But Seiko watches tend to be very well made. They're very known for being very reliable. Their dive watches are also very good. I'm tempted to get an Seiko 007 or 009 at some point, probably a 009 with a multicoloured bezel. But the quartz second hand on this is accurate to the second. What I mean is that it doesn't hit somewhere between the seconds. It hits dead on every time. I don't know, obvious that'll be to the camera, but it's pretty much hitting the second mark at every time, not hitting somewhere in between. So it's properly zeroed. So yeah, I really like this. I think the white bit on the end of the second hand might be lume, but the rest of it isn't. But apart from that, it's a very good watch. Just doesn't glow in the dark. It's more of a dress watch. But like I said, it will have a couple of months on the charge when worn often, so I don't have to fix a time on it. I just need to fix a day date sometimes, depending on how many days are in the month. and apart from the screen that, like, you know, the face that seems to get dirty quite easily, it's a very nice watch.